Hello, guys, and welcome back to the WildTalk Podcast with myself, Dan, and our co-host, Corey. How are you, mate?
I'm all right. You sound absolutely miserable there.
Oh, mate, it's been a long day. A
I
really
know.
long day.
It's my first day back at work today in uh,
Like
three
3 week.
weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm knackered, and I only did a 6 hour shift as well.
I've realised as I was introing the podcast then that I say the same thing every single time.
You do.
Like, word for word, the same thing.
But do you know what? It's cute. I like it.
Good. I'm glad. I'm really, really glad.
Apart from work, how are you doing? I don't
Um,
think I actually asked you when we was pre setting this up. We kind of just jumped in. I was watching a video and we just got waffling on about Gertz.
yeah, no, mate, I'm good. I've not been up to a massive amount. I went up for the goats again on Saturday. There's no point saying days because when we record this, it's coming out in like another 2 weeks or something. So, a few weeks ago, yeah, I went back up to the goats, saw none, but yeah, it was nice to get out with the
Ah,
camera.
that's good. Yeah, it's good to get out. That's what I've been doing a lot of landscape photography recently because I can't really get out and do my wildlife. So I'm very lucky. You've been told, yeah, you have been told because you've been to my house before, haven't you?
I have, yeah, I've picked
Yeah,
you up
yeah,
when we went to Top Hill
yeah, yeah.
two
Obviously,
year ago, something like that.
something like that, yeah. I'm like a 10-minute walk from the River Humber, and if you've not been to the River Humber, it's massive.
It is
And
pretty big, isn't it? It's pretty big.
yeah, it is, yeah. But moving on to the River Humber, yeah, it's big, and when the tide goes out, there's a lot of nice features, and I've just been enjoying a bit of landscape. Might
Nice.
take over my wildlife.
Well, you never know, mate. You never know.
I don't think it will. I'm looking forward to macro season starting and stuff like that. So yeah, but
So
yeah, I know what you mean. It's
a
good to
month,
go.
month and a bit till macro season kicks off.
That's it. And beginning of April, I'll be hopefully getting the Sony 90mm macro, which is supposed to be a fantastic lens.
Mike and Chris use that, I believe.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I thought Chris was a Canon bloke, and then
Yeah,
found
well,
him on Instagram.
I think he was, but I think
He
it's
was
all changed now.
he was using the old. Do you know what the best thing about Chris's work? What I love is some really good images, and you look at the cameras that he were using. They weren't new cameras; they were old bodies.
I
And he was like,
particularly liked the comparison he made when he went down to photograph little owls in Birmingham. He
"Damien."
took, yeah, he took an older camera, and I can't remember what it was now for the life of
Was
me,
it like a
but
1D Mark III or something like
I don't even think it was a Mark III. I think it was. I might be wrong, but I think it was a Mark One, and he was proving that even on sort of the older range of cameras and stuff, they can still produce amazing images, which it did.
that? Yeah, it did. Can I just interrupt?
Of course, you can.
We've just had our first donation on the GoFundMe of £10.
That is
Thanks, Mum.
amazing. Oh, shout out.
Well, so my mum runs the Tourette's charity in Hull. My younger brother was diagnosed with Tourette's at like 5 years old, and it was very, very tough growing up watching him suffer. People think
Hmm.
Tourette's is funny, and it has its funny moments. Like I was filming the symposium last year, and to be in a room with like 30 people with Tourette's was
Yeah.
hilarious. But then listening to some of the stuff, do you ever watch that Scottish bloke who was on with
Yes.
Tourette's?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
have.
God.
Yeah.
So he's really good friends with my mum. He comes down to all the charities and stuff like that, and I met him and listened to his story, and he was in tears. It was really sad to see. And my mum's doing a tough mudder in later on in the year to raise some money to Tourette's. They've raised hundreds of thousands of pounds over the last couple of years. So she
Well, I
said,
mean that segues nicely into what we were going to talk about.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So thank you, Mum, for donating £10. I appreciate that. If you haven't donated, we're not just asking for money for me and Dan to put in our back pockets. We're trying to raise money for a very, very,
Yeah,
very
very good
personal
cause.
topic. Something
Yeah.
very, very close to myself, close to Dan, and close to a lot of our friends and family. I've lost a lot of friends and family over the past couple of years to mental health related problems. It's very sad, and we want to do what we can to raise some money and some awareness to a very good charity and a very good cause.
100%. And I was chatting with various people after we somehow managed to agree on a recorded episode of the podcast that we were going to do the Yorkshire Three Peaks. Now, I've done it before, mate. Do you have any questions you want to ask?
Should I wear a nappy?
Nah, you should be all right. I reckon you can. If you need to go, you just go.
My health, obviously, we both know my health is crap. My fitness is crap. In 1 week today, what day is it? Next Monday, I'm chucking my vape, chucking the e-cig. I've been meaning to do it for a while. I'm just starting on some vitamin boosters because I'm quite learning a few things. I'm going to go to the gym, start cycling again, I think, just to get my health going. I'm scared.
Are you scared? Don't be
I
scared.
am. 24 miles is daunting.
24 miles over 3 different peaks is, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to some of the opportunities. Like, obviously, my new love for landscape photography. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for me to take some beautiful landscape images.
Oh, 100%.
We're going to make a really good video for the podcast channel.
We are.
A real nice vlog. I'm going to make it very cinematic and cool. I'm surprised since our announcement, certain other people haven't announced it yet.
Yeah, me too. But, you know, we're
do you know what, right? If people want
trendsetters.
to do something, if people want to take what we do and try and turn it into their own thing, the joke's on them because it's going for a good cause. And we've already had a few people keen on maybe joining us and stuff like that. I know one of the chaps I work with thought it was a brilliant idea. It's a subject close to him as well, and he wants to join us do it. I'm sure there's a few other people that'll probably end up joining us.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a long list. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I've started training. Loosely training.
Do you want to tell everybody how you've been training?
Yeah, so apart from walking up the quarry, I've been running up and down the stairs about 50 times. Apparently it's good for you for climbing up hills. But yeah, my legs don't feel like they're enjoying it particularly, but it's all progress for a good cause.
Yeah, it is. It's a topic that it used to be quite taboo, kind of growing up, especially with blokes as well. Yeah. I'm not just saying that because it's a typical thing, men don't get the assistance and stuff like that. But the truth is that we don't, especially dads and stuff as well. I'm in a few dads groups on Facebook, and it's heartbreaking to see some of the stuff people go through. And if we can do something to encourage people to talk or just raise a bit of money to help with the system that can help these people, then I feel like we've done job. Whether it's £10 or £1,000, it's better than nothing.
Exactly. It's all going towards helping, and it's all going towards assisting.
If we just raise £1 per mile that we walk, I'll be happy. 24 quid, that's my goal. If we raise 20, do you know what, I'm going to donate them for £14 now. No, I'm not really.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Just hope the weather's on our side, mate.
Do you know what, right? It probably won't be.
And do you know what? It is what it is, isn't it, I guess? That's the day. That's the day. It can do whatever it wants. But yeah, we're smashing it. Yeah, 24 mile.
And if we fanny out halfway through, we just don't tell anybody.
Do you know what? There's a funny, well, not a funny story, a bit of a story from when I last did the 3 peaks. So I'd done 13 miles. I was pretty much halfway around, and my hip just gave in. Like, I've never felt pain like it. It was horrific. But because you're 13 miles in, there's only 2 things to do. And that's walk 13 miles the way you've just come, because there's no transport where you are. Or you just do the 13 miles to the finish line and continue.
What did you do?
Oh, mate, I went straight for the finish line. I ran the last 4 miles.
I was thinking the other day, would it be a good idea for us to cycle it on mountain bikes? But I don't know what the path's like. I don't know.
Not cracking. I wouldn't want to be coming down a mountain bike on some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them inclines or declines, should I say? I'm all right, mate. I'll stick to my legs.
How high is it when you're at the top of the peaks?
I can't remember what the peak heights are off the top of my head. I think some of them are 700 meters, I think, maybe.
That's nothing. I've climbed a 900 meter mountain.
Yeah, they're just so... each peak's really, really different. Like, the first peak, Penny Ghent, we'll tackle, you're literally on flat ground for maybe 500 meters before then it's just constantly uphill to the trig point.
That's 694 meters. Whernside?
Yeah.
736 and Ingleborough 723.
Yeah, so we start on Penny Ghent, then I think it's either a 10-mile walk to the next peak, which which is more of a mental slog than it is a physical slog because it's quite flat. But it just plays on your mind constantly. That it just feels never ending. Like completely.
I am not gonna lie. When I said to you before we should have just done scaffold pike, I'm still agreeing that we should just do. I generally don't know if I'm fit enough to do it, and I'm not just talking about my general health at the minute. I'm about in general in life. Like I'm not a fit person. I used to be a very fit person. I just don't think I am anymore.
I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I think the fitness comes for the peak climbing. That's where you need it. But for going down the other side of the peak, and especially that 10 miles between Pennygent and Whernside, it's not too tough on the body.
What time are we aiming to start?
So
4 a.m.
Let's leave it a bit later. Let's do 5 a.m.
Okay, 5 a.m. So well, sun comes up at 5:30 on that day.
There we go. So we can be what, halfway up Pennygent by the time the sun comes up.
Yeah, and 10 hours.
We'll just set off at 4. Yeah, we'll just set off at 4 a.m. or something, and then we'll just see what time we get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep myself awake the night before, just so I can sleep. On the Friday night, I'm gonna keep myself awake. I'm gonna come to yours on the Saturday.
Yeah,
and then sleep from like 8 o'clock.
And then we'll just smash it straight up. Easy, light work. Honestly,
I need to take it seriously. I need to just do something just to get my health just a little bit. I think a month and a half. I've got just under 2 months.
Yeah, you'll be all right. What is it, like 7 weeks this Sunday?
Yes, that's right.
7 week on Sunday. We'll be hitting the peaks. So other than the need to wear a nappy, have you got any other questions?
No.
You see, when I did it, it was an actual event to do the 3 peaks. It was for Macmillan Cancer, I believe, or I think it was a number of charities. And I was there supporting a work colleague's friend. So dotted around, especially after I think it was the 11-mile mark, there was a burger van, and then like further down when coming off Whernside, there was like an ice cream van. But we won't have that luxury because it's not an official event.
Yeah.
Which
I think we need to go to Tesco's on a Saturday, and I mean stuff like carbs, like pastas, protein shakes, and stuff. Or electrolytes, stuff like that.
So I've just invested in a new backpack for it.
Camelback.
It's basically just a very small, long distance hiking bag that's probably big enough for a water bladder. I think it's got a 2-litre water bladder in it, and then like little pockets for like snack bars and stuff. So
we need bigger bags than that to store our food and shit.
Maybe. Although that being said, I didn't really eat much on the last one, which is probably why it screwed me so much. But
I'm bringing a camera and a drone.
Oh, I sod all that. I carrying that crap for 24 mile.
It's gonna kill us off. I probably aren't gonna wake up on the Monday till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I reckon.
Well, I'm going light because I had a bigger backpack last time and I was carrying like 4 bottles of Lucozade, water, food and everything, and I was just like, I remember my back was in pieces, and can't be bothered. So I'm gonna pack light, but pack like high energy bars and stuff like that.
High energy bars, and I think just electrolyte drinks, not like fucking the cheap isotonic, something like proper.
Oh yeah,
and creatine, stuff like that. Just stuff like, what the fuck is that? It's my cat. Bloody hell! Pack it in. He's so fat. He went missing for like 4 weeks. And I know, obviously, outdoor cats. I don't approve. This cat, if I could keep him indoors, I would. He just finds a way. He finds a way, gets out, and he goes lives with my neighbours. He's not an outdoors cat. He just likes to go from one house to the other. And he came back in after a month off, and he's a stone heavier. He is huge.
Wow.
He's so fat, it's unreal, and he can't meow anymore as well. We've stopped feeding him because he's still getting fed somewhere else, and we've tried locking him in the house, and he still just keeps getting fatter.
That's crazy.
He's old, so.
The good thing as well about the finish line for Three Peaks is it's a pub, which is great.
Going for a pint.
Yeah, I tell you what, I found I did that last time, but I found when I sat down and finished walking, I was just like freezing cold, like I was shivering so much.
Adrenaline, your body's run out.
Yeah, it was just mental. But yeah, it'll be worth it.
Please donate.
Good cause. Please donate.
I'm not doing this for a tenner.
We'll be no doubt plastering the donation link all around our socials and stuff.
For every £20 we get is a mile, we'll walk a mile. We get £100, we'll walk 5 miles. If we get £200, we'll walk 10 miles.
Yeah, there needs to be more in that donation pot. I mean, like we said, money's money, isn't it? So £10 will help the organisation. But do I want to walk 24 miles for a tenner? No, but I'll do it because the person's donated a tenner.
You say my mum. I don't feel too disheartened.
Yeah, just give it back to her. No, we're joking. We are going to do it, but yeah,
if we're going to commit to that, we need people to come together and donate for a good cause.
But we'll share the donation link and
tell you what, if we don't get past £200, I'm going to change the peak that we climb. I think I think for us raising money, the more we raise, the more we do. If we don't raise enough, if I'm not, obviously I'm not. People don't have to donate. It's a tough time to live in and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's a lot of people out there that just think if you're going to spend a £5 on a McDonald's and you're listening to this, just send it, and it's going to go to a charity that helps a lot of people.
You're basically paying to watch a video of me and Corey struggle up Three Peaks and 24 miles because it'll be all on a video.
That's it. And I think if we earn enough, I'm happy to do the 3 peaks. If we don't earn enough, I'm gonna choose a peak that is more suitable for how much we've raised. Because I'm not killing myself for 20 quid.
Walking up the stairs.
That was a really insensitive comment to make. If like what we're raising money for, I'm not knackering my body up for I think, mate. I think we just do it. I think we've committed. We've said we're going to do the 3 peaks. We'll nail the 3 peaks. Yeah,
screw it.
We will do it. And I think we then, if you're up for it, if we do a good job, we raise a bit of money, and we enjoy it. I think we aim bigger next time. I think we do Ben Nevis.
Oh, light work. Done it like 3 times.
I've never done it, and I'd absolutely love to do it.
I've done that like twice, I think.
All right, Jay from In Between Us.
Yeah, but I've completed it. I've basically completed it, mate. I did it when the worst storm in 30 years hit the UK, and then I did it on probably one of the hottest days of the summer, summer as well.
What's the last climb that you need to do then? For the
I do need to do Scaffold Pike, but what?
Tell you what, then we'll do Scaffold. If we raise enough money for this, we'll do Scaffold Pike.
What about the 3 peaks? We were doing the 3 peaks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're going to do the 3 peaks.
Oh, and then we'll do and then after this we'll do Scaffold. Yeah, all right.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So I think if we raise enough money, I think in September we do Scaffold Pike.
Or here's an interesting one for you. Now we're not signing up for this. I know it's going to be said on the podcast, but I'm not signing up for this. If we smash the 3 peaks for Yorkshire, why don't we in 2024 do a charity event, a fundraising charity event for the National 3 Peaks?
I see. I'm inclined to do that, but I wouldn't want to do it all in 1 year. I would like to do one this year.
Oh, the National 3 Peaks. If we were to do it, it's all in 24 hours.
How are we supposed to do Scaffold, Snowdon, and Ben Nevis in 24 hours?
Yeah, it's mad.
Is that 24 hours from climb to getting down, and then you travel, and then it's 24 hours, and then
no, mate. It's 24 hours in total. You start Ben Nevis at midnight, and then you summit at about I think it's about
4 hour climbing it.
4 a.m. you summit, then you go back down, get in a transport. You drive to Scafell, bang, hammer Scafell out, and then drive to Snowdon and finish on Snowdon. In the grand scheme of things, if you think about it, it's not actually that bad. It sounds horrific, and I'm sure it's tough, but it's probably not as bad as what it sounds like it is.
No, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to do it in 24 hours. I couldn't commit to it. I would give up. I know I would. I do not have the energy or strength to do that much climbing in one day. I would say the UK peaks or the whatever in a week.
Oh, it's easily doable in a week. You could do it in 3 days, to be fair.
Yeah, but it's traveling. I don't travel well and stuff like that, and it's just. I know I'm giving excuses here, but I'm an absolute traveler.
If we do well with the 3 peaks, then I will do a solo podcast venture, raise money, and I'll do the national 3 peaks in a day.
You'll do it in a day.
Yeah,
I'll come along, and I might do Ben Nevis with you, and then I'll let you climb the other 2.
I'll do it. I'll do it in a day.
I'll challenge you to that.
2024.
But I would also like, as a pair of us, to do the 3 peaks in a week.
Yeah, that's easily.
So we'll complete this, and then we'll get a date set, and we'll do the 3 peaks.
Yeah, let's complete the Yorkshire 3 peaks.
Yeah, okay. By the end of 2023, I want us to have raised money for the Yorkshire 3 peaks and then the national 3 peaks.
All right, sweet. Sounds good to me.
Sweet, cool. Right, onto the podcast because we've chatted for half an hour about that.
Yeah, we have. Today. We're discussing social media.
It's in light of our next 2 guests.
Yeah. So we're going to cover the positives, and I don't want to go too much into the negatives because we end up on a 20-minute tangent slagging people off. And I know we're going to try not to, but we'll try really, really hard. Really hard.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, 20 minutes later. Oh, we've gone off on a tangent about how everybody's a muppet. But yeah, social media, mate. It's a
funny one, isn't it?
That's exactly what I was going to say. It is a funny one. It's great for sort of pushing your work out there. I think a few years ago, I think it might have been a little bit better than it currently is. But I don't know. Do you want to cover? Should we just briefly cover each social media that can be used in case people don't know? I don't know if you want to go down that route, but other than the obvious of Facebook, Instagram.
Let's ignore. We'll tell you what we'll do is we won't talk about Facebook too much. There's a few things I'd like to talk about in Facebook later on.
Okay.
We'll start off with Instagram.
So
Instagram is a. Sorry, no, you carry on, Dan. Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say Instagram a few years ago was probably better and more aimed towards creatives. I think it was better to share photos on Instagram before the likes of TikTok came along. And I'm going to say it, probably before Facebook purchased it. They purchased it only about 3 or 4 years ago, didn't they? It might not have even been so long ago. It might have only been within the last couple of years. But I think before the world of TikTok and these, or is it YouTube shorts and these little sort of like 60-second videos became a thing, it was definitely a place to share photos. And it still is.
Sorry, just to really quickly interrupt. It was 11 years ago.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it must be just the world of TikTok and these short...
TikTok is awful. I hate TikTok.
It's great.
I don't want to sit there and watch people dance in public looking like absolute tits because that's all. And they're not influencers. Oh my God. I know, right? It took 2 minutes. I hate TikTok with passion. Yeah,
it is good. It is a cesspit for just rubbish, but it is.
Every now and again, you come across something that's. I don't, right? And I say I hate it, but I spend about 3 hours a day scrolling through Instagram Reels and TikTok because I can't help it. Cannot help it. And
that's what they want you to do. So yeah, Instagram definitely was a place for people, for creatives to share their work. And unfortunately,
I was too late to the party for the Instagram. I didn't actually start using Instagram seriously till about 2 years ago.
Oh, I don't know how long I've been using.
You've been.
I think pretty much since I started photography about 8 years ago. I was just like, I think that's probably the first account I set up was an Instagram account, and then I kind of just like hammered it from there.
How often do you go back and delete old posts? Because I've seen more than 166 posts from you in the last couple of years.
Beginning of lockdown was the last time I sort of changed, and I don't delete them, I just archive them. But I think lockdown was the last time I sort of changed how my page looked. And then
That's what I need to do.
then again,
I just need a good log of images, because the problem is my Instagram at the minute is I'm just posting crap on there and falling for the algorithm and stuff like that, which doesn't exist. Because like we were saying before this, I was posting photos on Instagram when I went to Scotland of the puffins, and they were getting like 800 likes in the space of 4 hours. And that's not me paying for anything. That was just genuine using hashtags. Like, I'll just find this photo real quickly, and I'll just go through what I'll do is I'll find this photo of the puffin. There's one photo that did absolutely fantastically over the rest of them.
But I know what you mean. Before there was some sort of logical algorithm within Instagram, and it certainly pushed your photos out to your followers a lot better than what it currently does. I think I was having this conversation with, I can't remember who, another photographer a couple of weeks ago, and it was, I think they asked me, "Oh, are you uploading to Instagram still?" And I says, "Yeah, I upload every 2 days." And they said, "Oh, I've genuinely not seen any of your work for like 2 months," and that's because the algorithm isn't pushing people's work to their followers unless their followers are regularly interacting with them.
You need to get lucky. So this puffin photo was a side-on shot of a puffin with sand eels in its mouth. Shot that to this day is one of my favourite photos I've ever taken. It did well. 876 likes, 18 comments, which isn't really a lot. 79 bookmarks. That's when people save it into.
Yep.
Reached 24,069 accounts. And my profile gained 264 followers from it. So 23,346 my impressions of people who viewed my image came from Explore, which is that not your news feed. Is that your news feed?
Oh, is Explore like when you click search and it just brings up a load of stuff?
That's Explore. So essentially my image just got to the top of that somehow. 23,000 came from that. 269 came from people clicking on my profile. 177 came from hashtags that I use similarly. And 119 came from my story shares, and then it's a 0 from ads. So I've used ads every now and again just to kind of see, and that was brilliant. I had 264 followers from it, and I had 98 external link taps. So I'm assuming that's Facebook. So that was that image, and then if I go to my last image of a grouse insights. 69 likes, 3 comments, 0 bookmarks, 417 accounts reached, no account engagement, no followers, 3 profile activity.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. And I don't want to sit here and just start slagging off social media platforms, but I think what's happened is Instagram has tried to move more towards the likes of TikTok just to compete with the demand for people on TikTok, which is why they introduced, Instagram Reels and
it's a shame as well, because it could be such a fantastic site for photographers and for creative, artistic people,
and it has been for years. It's just things have flipped and things have changed, which leads me quite nicely onto Vero, which is another sort of
on that.
Yeah, I'm terrible at remembering to post on it really, but that's another sort of platform, and it seems to be more tailored towards creatives. I know it was mentioned at my local camera club, people saying, "Oh, there's this brand new sort of app, this brand new thing for sharing stuff," and it's actually not brand new. It's been around for years, like absolutely. Like I can't remember how many years now, but I've got 2016 in my head, but I don't know why. I think that might be when it was sort of released.
It was founded by French-Lebanese billionaire Ayman Hariri, who was the son of the Prime Minister of Lebanon. But officially launched in 2015 as an alternative to Facebook and their blogging app. So
that's the good thing about that is there's no algorithm. There's no ads, there's no targeted ads, there's none of that rubbish. It's just for creatives. So your likes of your photographers,
social media.
It's like you've got photographers, you've got musicians on there, etc., videographers, and
I'm verified on it.
Yeah, me too. And what's good is it shares your photos. There's no restrictions to photo size or quality. It is just
compress it and ruin your image.
It doesn't. It's just straight how it should be. The only downside I found with Vero is growing your account. Now, on Instagram, because of the algorithms, before the algorithms went down the pan, it was so easy. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but it was easier to grow your following by sort of tapping into the algorithm. But because Vero doesn't have this hidden algorithm, it's so hard to achieve followers without having to constantly share, your page with, people on your Instagram and on your Facebook. I mean, I've had some natural progression or natural growth on it from people that have just stumbled across my account, but it is pretty slow. And that's the thing, that the algorithms push out the hashtags in Instagram. I'm not fully aware of how Vero does it, but I don't think, or I've not seen much of that happening on Vero. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just certainly a social media platform that I need to delve into a little bit more.
I'd like to have I don't even have the ability to upkeep posting to Instagram. And I don't know if it's because I'm not happy with my images at the minute or not, but I go for a trend of posting every day to posting once every week and stuff like that. And that the algorithm doesn't like that. If you do that, then you're gonna basically balls up your work. It's same with YouTube. So we won't go onto YouTube just yet. We'll continue with Instagram. But I'm literally, I just as an experiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a photo on Instagram now. I'm really happy with the cult it. Did a bit of editing to it on Photoshop and stuff like that. But I'm going to post that on Instagram now with my usual hashtags. We'll see how well it does by the end of the podcast.
Yeah, it's certainly a strange one. Is Instagram? It can fluctuate so much between, you and I know we discussed this with Andy. It's not always about the likes, but it certainly bloody helps. And getting that recognition for your work's great, but especially when you upload, like I upload religiously every 2 days on Instagram at 5:55 a.m. every morning.
I noticed that it's always so early in the morning,
and I do that because that algorithm that's worked in my favor for the algorithm, and it also means when people tend to wake up in the morning and have a scroll through social media and scroll through Instagram, my photos are already there for them to see.
Yours is always the first one I see when I open it up in the morning.
So it's just to sort of help boost that. But you can post one photo. Like an example, I posted a photo back in February. It got 1.9k views or likes, sorry. And then 2 days later, I posted a photo and it got 300. It's just so it's like YouTube fluctuates so much.
Obviously, I've slacked. I do YouTube, and I mean, I was getting a point where my videos were regularly getting about 1.5k views and stuff like that. And I was like, this is pretty good. And I didn't post for a couple of months. And since then, everything's been getting between 200 and 300 views, barring the exception of my casual one that got nearly 1,000. This is again why I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break from YouTube for the foreseeable future while I figure out where I want to be as a photographer. And same with Instagram as well. I'm just going to start slowly putting less time and effort into it while I figure out what I want to do. Like, obviously, I've been taking a plunge into landscape photography, which I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, exactly. It can become deflating, and it's like you say, if you don't keep up with the regular posting, it's so fast and easy to fall off.
It is, and it's a shame because it has so much potential to be the opposite and so much potential to be the best platform for photographers to share their work. Like, I mean, I get every photo I put up, every photo, certainly comment on it like, brilliant photo, great shot, stuff like that, which is fantastic from a company. They don't have to do that. There's hundreds and thousands of Cerny users, and they take time to comment on as many as possible. Every photo I go through about failure, they've commented on it and shared their thoughts, even if it's just a few emojis and stuff like that. They've done something. Like,
so it's definitely a platform out that, eventually, maybe in the distant future, it can improve again. But I think that covers Instagram. I don't really think there's any point covering Facebook because it was never invented as a photo sharing site.
No, Facebook is a site for idiots. That's it.
It's a site for that and your local, and it's also a site for your local Facebook pages about people moaning about parking and the fact that their cat's gone missing, just stuff like that. I mean, there are some very good groups. There's some really informative groups out there for
Oh, but it's a little of idiots. I thought bloody UK bird lovers. Not today. Somebody posted. Whoa, what bird was it? It was a Oh, I can't remember what it was now. Somebody posted a photo of a bird saying, "Oh, I found this. What is it?" And I comment on it saying, "This is what it is." Where is it?
I think Facebook, you get more, and we'll cover some of the negatives.
It's been deleted. I think it was like an Indian Mayan or something like that, like a member of the Stalin family. Oh, I found this bird today. Somebody tell me what it is, comment on it saying, "This is what it is." I know what the bird is because I've come across it a few times. And this guy commented, and I said, "Oh, it's most likely an escapee." This guy replied to me saying, "Are you an idiot? Why would it be an escapee? This guy's in an exotic country." And I was like, "How the hell am I supposed to know that?" And people on Facebook are so quick. I mean, we both know full well the keyboard warriors and stuff like that.
And that's what it is. And I think what we'll do, we'll cover the positives of using social media, and then we'll just hammer the negatives, because I think there's some. I think it outweighs itself. I know the positive. I mean, the main positive of using social media to put your photos out there is just the amount of reach it can get. It's not just touching people in your area, it's touching people all around the country and other countries too. Facebook, Instagram, I don't really know about Vero, but we'll use those two. There's so many people on them. There's millions upon Facebook millions.
Has 3 billion monthly active users.
And just think, you might not. That's a 3 billion marketplace of people that could potentially want to view your work. Whether your work is photography, videography, you're a musician, you're a singer, etc., etc. There's the audience is so big that there's always going to be someone out there that'll appreciate your work. Yeah, always.
It's subjective. We always say photography is subjective. For every 5 people that don't appreciate it, you're going to have 5 people that do. You can't change that. There's nothing you can do about that.
It's just so good as well, just to spread your name, especially if you're wanting to proceed down the sort of commercial full-time business route of photography. It's so easy, and it's so good.
Just don't dirty your name like a certain person in this podcast probably already has.
Yeah, and that's it. That sort of stems into the negatives. I mean, the positives are there. We've just said them. It's so easy to just share work to billions of people, and that's how you grow your name positively around your area. I'm not blowing smoke up my arse, but there's been times when I've been walking around my local area and people are like, "Oh, are you Dan by any chance?" I'm like, yeah. And they're like, "Oh, I've been following your work for ages." And it's like, "Oh, nice, thanks." But it's a dangerous place to I'm crap with my words. I really am. I've not even had a beer either, mate. No.
Do you know what it is? It's because we're trying too hard to be nice about something, and it's not us.
We are. Well, I don't know whether I'm trying too hard, but I'm just trying to get all these bloody thoughts out of my head.
Do you need to talk to somebody?
Not them kind of thoughts. But
it's a different kind of thoughts. Thoughts got me.
Oh, always, mate. 24/7. Can't sleep. It's so easy to tarnish yourself on social media. Now,
even when you don't mean to as well, because people will find every little thing they can pick out from it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like anything. People's words and the way they word their sentences and people interpret them is impossible on social media. Even on texts, one thing that you can say can be misinterpreted by somebody else as you coming across as an arsehole, but really you're not. You're just being straight to the point. And I think that's the main thing. It's one of the main negatives of using social media. I think it gives people the screen to hide behind. We used the term keyboard warrior about 20 minutes ago. It's definitely a smokescreen for some people to just not necessarily be arseholes, but I think be opinionated.
No, these people are assholes.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are. Some of them have just got very strong opinions, but some of them are genuinely just muppets. And it gives someone some sort of safety to hide behind. And I think that's one of the I think that's one of the main negatives, that it can really get people down. I know there's various groups out there for wildlife photography. I'm not shouting them out because a couple of them I'm not on particularly good terms with them admins anyway.
Tell me people you are on good terms with.
That's harder, is that actually? I should probably tell you I'm not on good terms with.
Shows your block list.
Oh, maybe we'll leak that one day. That'll
be a full episode.
It will be like 2 hours of why these people are on my block list. But it's like, I won't say the group, but there's a group out there that has a lot of people in it, and I think you know which group I mean. Oh, it's not the British Wildlife Photography Group.
Is it RSPB Birders?
No, I'm not saying which one it is, but I'm not on good terms with the admins.
It's the British. It's the British Wildlife Photography Group.
I've had some run-ins with them where, I don't know. I'm not getting into it too much, but I just think
I'll get into it. Basically, Dan uses commercial hides, and the admins weren't. They kept deleting Dan's images and not deleting other people's.
It wasn't. It sounds really childish, does that? But yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, Dan, I've just thrown you in there, but I found it hilarious.
Do you know what?
You know me. I don't care.
It is what it is. I'm not particularly bothered. I doubt they're even listening to this, to be honest. But it was basically that.
If you are.
Yeah, just learn how to admin your page properly. Which is what I said to one of them. Not in a horrible way by any means, but
I'm going to love it in a couple of weeks' time when I start the dates, and I've got my friends Joe and Jez coming on to speak to us, zookeepers, rescues, and stuff like that. You think we're bad for just talking our minds and stuff like that? You wait until you listen to Jo. She is lethal.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that then.
I cannot wait. That episode's going to last about 4 hours as well.
But yeah, it's, and I don't really want to go onto the topic of Facebook groups and just groups in general and admins, but I think what I've seen quite a lot of is young photographers getting into taking photos.
And people shitting on it.
Yeah, and posting it, and then they just get 10, 15 comments of bitter old people just slating it. And I've spoken to one after on the back of the abuse that he received. And I think he was only like 14. He was starting out, and he felt like he didn't want to post anymore because of the abuse that he got. And I'm just thinking, how is that an environment where you're welcome?
People to do more.
Exactly. These kids that are getting into it could be out nicking vapes from corner shops, nicking bottles of Prime and stuff. You know what I mean?
A motorbike, if you
listen. Or your motorbike, yeah.
Sorry, moped. Sorry,
but it just gives such a smokescreen for people to hide behind, and I think that's the one main negative about social media is you will just get trolls, and it doesn't matter what you're doing online, you'll get trolls. I mean, we get them for the podcast. You've referred to me as probably the most hated person around here in the wildlife community, and
in England at least.
It probably is, to be fair. There's some people up there. Don't get me wrong. There's some people that'll take the trophy, but I think
there's other places like the best wildlife, the best pine marten hard in Scotland, places like that, which what makes me keep on going as a photographer, because they are so nice and so genuine with their comments. I love it.
Yeah, it's the positivity that I get from people that pushes me forwards. Like you've just mentioned the best pine marten hide in Scotland. The comments that we get are just lovely. They push us to do more.
He has designed our structure for the podcast. I've stopped going on and liking our own posts now.
Yes, I've also done the same.
You've had laser eye surgery, so you look like that. Oh, can I just say, right? If anybody's got Dan on Facebook, I thought this was an absolute beauty, right? I'm going to talk about bullying on Facebook. Dan put his profile picture up, and I'm going to put this on the. I'm actually going to put this on the story of our Instagram page because I thought it was absolutely uncanny. Dan's profile picture, he looks like Harry Potter, and I commented, and there's a scene from Harry Potter where
Yes.
he stood wearing a grey jumper with mountains in the background and his glasses on.
Which is literally just what I looked like.
Yeah, sorry, I that got off topic that because we mentioned Harry Potter, but yeah, these people like him and his friend. I won't mention his name because he's a proud bloke and he really really cares about us, but he doesn't want the publicity. They give us so much good constructive criticism, if that's what you want to call it. And I love it. I love
And
it.
it's
I love scrolling through Instagram and seeing a post that's aimed at me and it's obviously about me and they haven't tagged me in it, but they're doing it to just save me a bit of
advertising. Yeah, exactly.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
But I think there's the positives we've outlined, and I think there's the main negative. I don't think there's many more negatives about posting on social media other than people can steal your images quite easily, and it's happened. And obviously they'll pressing your photos and making something that looked nice on your phone and on the screen when you're editing look like a piece of shit. But again, and that's more Facebook than it is Instagram. Facebook was never made to be a photo sharing site.
No, because you put your photo on there and it looks so crap afterwards. It compresses it. Although I've noticed if you post on Instagram and then Instagram shares it to your Facebook, it doesn't
does it better. No, it does do it better. And I find Instagram on the whole tends to do better quality photos than Facebook, but that's because it is a photo sharing site.
So I posted that call tip for 9 minutes ago. Got 3 comments. None of them spam saying share it to this. One from Cerny. Straight away, they were the first people to comment on it, and 2 other people. And I've had 12 likes.
It is. I've just seen the story on the podcast page. It is pretty much just like bang on, really, isn't it?
What, you and Harry Potter?
Yeah, but no, it's on the whole, the positives outweigh the negatives, and you're never ever going to please everybody.
Do you know what? I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I'm going to disagree. I think the positives and the negatives are balanced because the positives are good, but the negatives are awful because people have.
Yeah, I guess the positives are there, but I think if you look at how negative the negatives can actually be on people, then yeah, at times it probably the negatives probably outweigh the positives. I know I've had relentless.
I'm a 25-year-old man nearly, and when I get crap on Facebook about my images, it still disheartens me. It still puts me down. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Absolutely, and it don't bother me.
It don't bother me as much, but it still bothers me.
It's yeah, I know you've referred to me as the most hated person, and that's just because of the level of. Do I use the word abuse? Because it kind of is a bit of abuse, isn't it? It's be abuse when it becomes relentless from the same people. But yeah.
Do you feel abused afterwards? If you hear any rattling, just ignore it. I'm just taking my Gaviscon.
I don't necessarily feel abused, but it certainly gets you down. I mean, we've both been, victims. I hate that bloody word, but we've both suffered it, and people within people that have been on the podcast, and I'm sure will be coming onto the podcast have definitely at some point fallen victim to the lovely keyboard warrior. But yeah, it can get you down.
You're not there.
But then I look at it and I think
people sometimes.
I wouldn't say I'm as bad as because
we're not bad as.
I don't tend to take it to Facebook and outwardly plaster.
No, we just take it to a live discussion on a podcast.
Yeah, we take it to 200 people, not even that really. But
not yet. Give it time. Next year, I reckon we'll get 300.
And I said this to somebody the other month when they were giving me advice on how to run a podcast with no knowledge on how to run a podcast, nor any particular knowledge with photography, nor someone completely different. They said, "Oh, don't turn the podcast into you slagging people off," and I'm not. We're not doing that. But
we were saying before, and one of my friends said to me the reason why they love our podcast is because we're just
so open and honest, and
that's what we want to be.
I slag people off that deserve to be slagged off.
But at the same time, I think we have a really good fine line between having a rant about what bothers us
and just being a bellend. Yeah, there is a difference.
We have that fact because I think we have been quite informative. I think our guests that have come on have been fantastic, and having that insight into their lives has been great. And I
Absolutely.
think this is the level of this should be a social media podcast. Obviously, it's not technically on a platform as such, but it's a way of getting your work out there. I think we are the right amount of bantery and chilled out and
See, it's
intelligent.
good. It's good because we can split it. So when we've got a guest on, we can go down the informative, not necessarily like formal route, but not
Yeah,
as.
look at last week with Megan and that. I think that was such a fantastic. I wish we had had more time
Oh
because there was
yeah,
just so
but
much I wanted to ask.
there was just so much we could have gone into. I know,
It's not bloody working.
I know. I had a ton of questions that we just wouldn't have had the time to answer.
Yeah, do you know what? That's fine. Obviously, even in a year's time, I'll look back and think I cannot believe Meg came on and spoke to
But
us.
I'm certainly looking forward to getting her back on after summer, just to talk about what she's been up to and just ask more of them questions. But yeah, yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, do you have any stories for us then? Will that put your mind at ease?
I'm just trying to think about what more to possibly say about social media, other than sometimes it is a cesspit of crap, and then
Essentially, social media sometimes good, sometimes it's bad, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. Social media. We live in a time where people revolve their lives around it. I had a guy at work today told me that his daughter lost her phone in a drain manhole walking across the road, and she opened the manhole with cars coming all around her to get her phone out. And that just shows how people are attached to it. And I'm like it. This time last year, I got a brand new phone, Samsung S22 Ultra. Me and Susie, my partner, we went out for a walk, took a photo of the Humber Bridge, dropped my phone in the River Humber. Not for 1 second did I think I'm going to jump in there after it. I just cried.
Oh God, yeah, I'd never jump in a bloody river after a phone.
Paying 45 quid a month for a phone that's somewhere in bloody Argentina by now.
Yeah,
I spoke to my insurance company because it was covered for loss, theft, and damage, and they went, "Yeah, but it's not lost." And I was like, "It is lost. I dropped it at the River Humber." So they went, "Did you see where it landed?" I said, "I did. Yes." And I was like, "It was about 6 meters deep," and I was like, "Yeah, but if you know where it is, it's not lost." And I was like, "Okay, well, you go for a swim in the River Humber, then you retrieve my phone for me."
I mean, they're not wrong.
They are wrong, so wrong. Shout out to her too.
On shout outs, I just want to shout out Alex Cleverly as well, because he's just seen the story on the podcast, and he said, "Is this some type of joke?" There's no difference. I've been looking at it for the last 5 minutes. which has really, really, really tickled me, is that, because there is no difference. It's so funny. And I've just realized something. When this goes live, we're gonna have to, when this episode goes out, we're gonna have to share that story again, because
I'm going to share this every day. Every day I'm going to share this. Every day at the same time, 8 o'clock every single day, I'm going to share this 12 story.
That's fine. I'm completely fine with that.
It's funny. I reckon you like it a little bit being compared to Mr. Gary Potter. Sorry, not Gary Potter.
Gary Potter.
He's just been sacked by Chelsea.
Yeah, do you know what? It's one of those things, and I say this to all my mates. I say, if you're my friend, then go for it. Call me all you want. It's hilarious. But it's when random people do it, it starts to piss me off. And especially that certain person that uses it as an attempt. My bloody words. He attempts to insult me by saying it, and it's his go-to default insult. And it's like not funny anymore, mate. Come on.
Yeah, it's not funny, but there we go. I've just saved it as a collage. Do you know what, right? I found it hilarious that I had some kind of professional-ish shots done of me, and then in about a week, you had that photo put up, and then 2 other people that I know and copies everything I do also put similar photos up, and that. And I'm thinking, if I just set off a trend on Facebook,
I can't say I copied you, mate, but yeah. Yeah, it's just funny, isn't it? It's just funny, and I think that leads nicely on to another sort of negative. It depends how you look at it. It's 2 ways. You've got positive and you've got a negative. Social media gives people the opportunity to, and I'm using inverted quote marks, copy people's work. Now, sometimes, yeah, it's a positive. Sometimes it's flattery. It's nice to inspire people, but on the flip side, it's also quite annoying when you see people copy your work. I know I've
not necessarily work, but the things that you like.
So me and you have spoken about it, Corey, haven't we? About a certain person copying what I do.
And then I also have the same thing.
But
we both have our own version.
But it's literally, it's not copying. I'm gonna go. Oh, he's taking a photograph of a squirrel. I'm gonna go upload a photograph of a squirrel. It's not that level of copying. It's like drilling down into like everything that I do. It's very weird. It's like almost like a mirror, but like the mirror's not as good. Sorry, that sounded so wanky.
The problem I've got with this person that's doing it to me is for me it's a level of I post a photo on Instagram with this of a like the other day for World Wildlife Day. I posted a photo of of a grouse with just a nice little story. This person goes out the way to pick every single point I've made and elaborate on them on there, and then I post a profile picture of just a nice professional shot of me out in the field. A week later, this person does it. I do landscape photography. This person does it, and I'm thinking like
it's
maybe
nice.
It's just me overthinking it, but I know I'm not. I know I'm not overthinking
it. It depends. I think it depends who the person is. I think the two people that we deal with, it's not us overthinking it. It is that, and it is happening. But then I think when it's just randoms online, I think it's more you inspiring the person rather than they're just like outwardly copying.
It depends how I feel about the person. Like, say if I like that person, say if you did it, say if I posted like I don't know, a photo of a rabbit, and then you posted a good photo of a rabbit as well a week later, I think, oh, do you know what? He's probably seen it and thought, yeah, it's nice. I'll do something myself. But that's fair enough. But when people are doing it to one up you and trying to make them look better than you.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the negatives again of social media. It just gives people the outlet to, and especially when you're a photographer like me and you are. Maybe not you as much, but I think I tend to share a lot of like BTS of me out and about and stuff, and I think that does start to eventually sort of show on other people's feeds, and I guess there's two ways to look at it. Like you've said, it depends who the person is as to whether or not it's outright copying just to try be you or be me, or whether or not it is, you've just inspired somebody to think, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Is that share the behind the scenes while I'm out and about? It gives my followers more insight into what goes into taking an image. Now I'm not sitting here professing I'm some sort of god and people are copying me, but you know what I mean anyway. I'm sure the listeners know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just one of those things. And it's just one of the other negatives about social media. It just, especially when you're plastering so much on it, it's like research for these people, isn't it, really?
Yeah. It is. And you know what? I love watching it because when these people try and one up me, all they're doing is just making me look better. Keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cheers for that. Yeah, if you could tag me next time you do it as well, that'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, I think that's my rant pretty much done. On social media,
we haven't been running that long. We've only been going an hour. I think
it's a good. To summarize, social media is good. Social media is bad. It just depends on how you interpret various things as to how it affects you. And one thing I do want to say is if you're young getting into this, or at whatever age getting into, wildlife photography and stuff, don't listen to the Muppets that will spam on Facebook and on their keyboards. Which I'm just looking at it now. In my office, I've got a plaque that my mum bought me. God, I can't remember how many years, about 3 years ago. It was probably 3 years ago, mate. And I don't know if you remember it when I was just getting relentless trolling like daily.
That's how we became mates, so wasn't it? Because you were getting trolled to hell on that hedgehog person. I added you because I just...
daily. And she bought me it and it says, you will never get trolled by someone who's doing better than you. And it's just so true.
It is. Well, I mean, there's some exceptions to that, I think. But yeah, no, I think generally that's true. Generally.
I think on the whole, it'll always be someone who's not doing as well as you that trolls you. And it's and at the moment, since then, it's just proved it. But
I mean, I don't troll your work. I like to troll you as a person.
That's fine. Is that I do the same, mate.
I'd rather people trolled me as a person to my work, because I can't change who I am as a person. Don't bother me, rag me as much as you want, but my work, I
Yeah,
work really hard for.
I put effort into my work. Jesus
That's it,
Christ.
yeah. I put effort into myself. See me in a
Exactly.
minute. My hair's near enough at shoulder length, swoops but the back of my head. My beard is. I'm looking like not of English descent. Like I think.
Where's the hairline though? Like back? Is it still back?
Yeah, my hairline.
Hmm.
It's not got any worse over the last 2 years. My hairline's kind of stayed as it is. It's just.
That's good
Yeah,
at least.
I receded. I receded quite badly. So, but yeah, social media. That was crap.
Yeah. Good things,
I mean,
bad. Good things, bad things.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've
That's been quite an on topic, not too many tangent discussion as that.
yeah, I don't like it. I would
It's a bit strange for an episode without a guest.
yeah. Well, I feel like we've still got time. I'm not my bedtime isn't for another 45 minutes.
Well, that's good then. So, is there anything else you want to discuss, mate? Anything out there?
All right.
Any
I
questions?
think we need to get some. I think if we do it live on the podcast now, you can't back out. We need to get some more stuff planned for the podcast in the future. Trips
Okay, so
live episodes.
I confirmed back to I'm sorry if you're listening, but I've genuinely forgotten your Instagram name. But I confirmed back to the lady who invited us down to the bird
Charlie.
fair. Yes, that's it. Yes, sorry, Charlie. I confirmed back to her that we are interested as a podcast to go down to the bird fair. So yeah, I'm just waiting for that to really kick off. So it looks like we'll be there,
Cool.
which is great.
Obviously, we've got our Three Peaks climb. I think we need to do. Obviously, I'm quite a dab hand when it comes to sort of mini filmmaking and stuff like that. We need to do a trip. I want to say Scotland because we both love the place.
Mhm.
Maybe only for a couple of days and just do like a couple of live days up with different species. I think maybe winter.
What I'm also thinking of doing is I might be able to. Now I'm not 100% sure. I'd need to confirm with people, but I might be able to join in some podcast recording whilst I'm away on this trip.
All right, cool.
The big trip that I've still not
Dan,
blabbed
just
about
announce
yet.
it.
No, I'm not announcing it yet. I'm not because it's more of a challenge to prove to you that I'm not going to cave. Because you said you'll give it 2 months to end of March, and I'm not caving.
I'm announcing it. Dan
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Going to Holland to photograph the goshawks.
Oh, Emma. If only. If only. I don't need to do that when I've got Chris.
Yeah, but you haven't planned it. I've said to you when I can go, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll see you."
Oh, yeah,
yeah. And I send you a message on Facebook, and you reply 6 days later.
Yeah, I've got a busy life. I've got a busy life.
5 business days. Yes, so have I, man. I've got 2 kids and I work.
Right, okay. Well,
do you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about this series that I've been watching. I started it 3 days ago, and I'm nearly at the end of series.
What series is it?
It's The Good Doctor.
Oh, I've seen snippets of that on like TikTok.
It's Facebook for me. I see the videos on Facebook. They speed the voice up a little bit and reverse.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. It does look good. It does look really good.
It is one of the best programs I've ever watched. It's funny, it's dramatic, it's got romance and excitement and all sorts. And I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. So just let you all know, I postponed the start of the podcast today so I could finish an episode of The Good Doctor.
He did. He said, "Oh, I'll be on at whatever time," and then I got a message saying, "Oh, just wait. I'll be on in a bit. I just can't pause this episode." So yeah,
a new series and yeah, it was good. It's such a good program, and as soon as we finish this podcast, I'll be going back to watch it again.
That's great, mate. I don't really have much like particularly planned either in the near future, other than
what we need to do
going away.
We need to get a trip planned. I think towards the end of the year. I think we need to go up to Scotland for.
I wouldn't mind going back up to Scotland.
Maybe end of November. We go Friday to Monday. We do the crested tits and stuff, mountain hares maybe, and we just go out and we just record a live episode of the podcast because we both love Scotland. I'll be driving by that point. I'll drive to your house and you can drive us to Scotland.
Okay then. Okay, yeah, it sounds like a plan. But no, I'm definitely I'm definitely liking the direction the podcast is going. I think I don't know if you feel the same, but I think we've simmered down a bit now. It's definitely way more relaxed, and it's not all out just slagging people off and slagging things off.
It's not.
There's bits and bats of it.
I don't mind doing that.
No,
I don't
I mean, I don't mind doing it either, but
we are not a podcast where we just sit there and list off the scientific names of squirrels for 45 minutes. We are a podcast where we talk about the issues in our hobby, but not just the issues, the wonderful things as well. And there is a difference. The hobby is full of wonderful things, and
it's nice to have that difference as well. It's nice to have the sort of polar opposites. You know, we have a guest on, depending on who the guest is, we have a decent, sensible chat, and then we have our little episodes like this where we just kind of like just
chat shit for 2 hours,
chat shit, catch up, just have a conversation like we normally do, which is great.
It's good. People expect to listen, and it's all going to be informative. And do you know what, right? I mean, I've got a bit of education behind being Korea. Dan's got some sort of common sense. He went to Hogwarts for 6 years. Like
I did.
We're not by no means experts, but we know what we're on about to an extent. But the things that we don't know what we're on about is why we get guests on, because it's good to have that different insight.
Yeah, exactly, and it breaks the podcast up as well, because people just don't want to sit and listen to our voices for 2 hours each time.
Yeah, but I do. I like listening back.
It's nice. I know what you're going to say, because I do the same. I sometimes listen in the car on the way to work.
I sit in the bath and listen to it. It's
especially to the guest episodes, because I feel like when we're in the moment and we're chatting, I don't necessarily take in all the information that they're saying. It kind of just goes as a blur, because you're always trying to line up your next question from what they've said and like domino it in. But yeah, no, it is good. And it's strange, isn't it? Because I think we're nearly 50% of the way through season 1.
We are.
Which is
I've got series 2 already finished. We've got it set up and stuff like that.
It's crazy. It's been so.
But this is why for series 3 we need to come out with something brilliant. We need to get out and do the live episodes. We need to do something different, because
hopefully by then we've built sort of a decent foundation, and we can get bigger guests on. I'm not saying the guests we have aren't big, because they are in their own fields, but we can aim towards getting larger scale people on.
Yeah, that's right. Just insult all of our guests.
No, I'm not saying they're not large, because they're within their own rights they are amazing people. But yeah, it just pushes you up the food chain, doesn't it? I guess.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, we've got a long way to go, and
and all you got to do is keep trying, aren't you, mate?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's tough to keep on top of something. After a while, it does become more of a chore than a hobby. But I get this feeling from it.
I look forward to recording each week, so it's still very much.
Supposed to record tomorrow, and obviously I've got bits and bobs on out of the blue kind of tomorrow night. But like Friday, for example, I'm in Scarborough for the day with the kids and stuff like that.
I'm kind of glad you moved it to today, because tomorrow. Or whenever you lot listen to this, will be the 7th of March. There you go. There's some reference. I'm going to photograph the Starling Murmuration with my local camera club. So I won't have made it back in time anyway. So
you should have come to Hull to do it, because it's just.
Well, we not a lot of our members travel that far, so we're only going to Rip and Wetlands.
I bet you're the youngest guy there, aren't you?
No, I'm not actually. There's someone who's like 20, I think, or something. But yeah, there we go. Social media. The positives, the negatives.
Then a waffle for 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. So without running the risk of waffling on again for just about general crap for the next 20 minutes, I'm gonna pick photo of the week, mate.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going straight in. And I know exactly what I'm picking.
Go on then.
And I think you know what I'm picking.
You told me.
Yeah, I did tell you. Yeah, I'm picking Jesse's fox, the juvenile fox from the local allotment.
I haven't actually seen it. I'm just going to look now.
It's a great photo. Also shouting out Alex cleverly as well, because he lent her the 500mm lens that he's got to take the photo.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, there's a lot of good photos. I would like to give a couple of special shout outs to some of the photos. If um if you don't mind me giving a few shout outs to some of the photos I
Go
also
for
think
it.
did really well. Okay, let me just have a look. Because there was a couple of photos I had in mind. My Instagram is not loading for some reason.
Yeah, currently, my office is like a bunker for anything.
So the first photo I would like to give a special shout out to for a good photo is Steve Alcock of the Dipper on the Rock.
Yes, I
Fantastic
do
photo.
like that one.
Really, really good job. And then Steve also posted a fantastic photo of a little owl, which I thought was brilliant.
Yes,
Um, and then Gavin Joseph Photography of a really nice photo of a woodpecker. So three really good photos there that I think deserve at least a special kind of
absolutely.
mention
Yeah.
for photo of the week. I'm going to do my species of the week.
Oh yeah, we're doing it a bit back to front. It's normally at the beginning of the week, but
Yeah,
at beginning of the episode, beginning of the week. Jesus. So go on. What is your species of the week?
this is a species that you need to come photograph with me this year, as long as the islands are open and stuff like that. It's the Atlantic puffin. I absolutely love these. I got to spend a long day with them up close and watching how they live and stuff like that last year on Lunga. They're nicknamed the sea parrots, and they're only about 25 centimeters tall. They're tiny birds up close, puffins, but people expect big things.
They are.
They One thing that kind of blew my mind with them is per minute they flap their wings up to 400 times and fly at about 88 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
They can dive 60 meters underwater, and they are fully carnivorous.
What I find cool about them as well is they lose the coloured enamel on their beak when they
Yeah, they
go
go kind of
out to sea.
blacky grey
Yeah.
colour for winter, and then throughout summer when they food changes and they start breeding and stuff like that, they develop that clown kind of coloured beak.
And their chicks are called pufflings, which is also pretty cool.
That's what I call you.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's an awful
I think
joke.
one thing I love about puffins as well is how they've actually managed to adapt to people visiting the island and use humans to live peacefully. They use humans to sit and eat their food and hide away from predators like skuas and stuff like that, stealing their food, and shags and stuff like that, coming in and taking their food and stuff, which I thought was fantastic.
Pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I also like the fact that the pufflings fledge at night as well.
They do, yeah. They don't fledge during the day. They fledge at about between like 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning.
Which is also pretty cool.
Yeah, they're brilliant. You need to come to Lunga with me. We need to do a trip to Lunga.
Lunga's been on my list for a while now, many years.
I mean, should we tell what, right? Should we fuck off the idea of going to Scotland in winter and do a weekend in August?
Could do, yeah. We'll have a chat anyway. We'll figure it out. I'm sure we will.
We won't though, because
We will.
I talk to you about this sort of stuff, and you ignore me for weeks.
I don't ignore you for weeks. You're so needy. You are.
I just want attention.
You are so needy. You've been worse as well while you've been ill.
Yeah, I've been so needy while I've been ill.
I know you have. I know.
Yeah,
Don't
I've been
worry.
stuck at home, bored, nobody to talk to. Mrs. has been at work, kids have been at school and nursery.
So did.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Anyway, before we end up going off, because without that's just crowbarring another 20-minute tangent, is that? I don't think there's anything else. Anything else from you, mate?
No, there isn't really.
I'm sure there could be, but we'll just end up adding another hour onto the podcast episode.
Tell you what, I do have one question for you.
Okay,
I got a quiz for you. I've got one quiz for you. Just
a question then.
No, it's a question with many answers.
Oh, here we go.
I want you to name as many UK birds of prey as you can.
Ooh, okay.
Just go slowly, just so I can tick them off.
So I'm gonna go from size.
Tell you what, right? No. Right. First, wait, I don't know if you'll know this. 1 minute. Let me just get a full list up. Bear with me 1 second.
Okay. Well, I was going to start with a buzzard.
Don't shut up. Shut up.
Oh, sorry. Gosh, not prepared for this, are you, mate?
I'm just trying to
Come on.
find a list. Tell you what, right? Let's start with owls. There's 5 species of owl in the UK.
Yes,
I'm not counting eagle owl.
No, we're not counting eagle owls. So we've got short-eared owl, long-eared owl, tawny owl, barn owl, and little owl.
Cool, that's 5 points. Right, now move on to falcons. Oh, you're not that smart, are you?
Just go for birds of prey.
Okay, now name birds of prey.
Okay, so we'll go from biggest, or we'll go from that end to the smallest. So I'll start with buzzard.
Wait, you're going biggest, and you went.
Oh no, I'm not going. I just said from that size area down to the smallest. You don't listen. Come on. So we've got buzzards, red kite.
Yep.
Now, are you wanting actual resident? So birds of prey that are resident to the UK, i.e., they're like fully like they breed here, but then like they might piss off somewhere else. Are you counting them? Because if you are, I'm sticking ospreys in there.
Yeah, all ospreys are 100%.
Hen harrier.
Yeah, so that's 5.
Marsh harrier.
Yeah.
Let's start working the way down. So we've got the merlin.
Yeah.
Sparrowhawk.
Yeah.
Kestrel.
Yeah.
Peregrine.
Yeah.
I had another one in my head then. Why is it gone?
Similar to the kestrel and merlin.
Why is it gone? Oh my god.
Catches dragonflies.
Yeah. Oh my god. I thought the merlin caught dragonflies.
Nope.
Oh, that's really annoyed me because he's right there. I was in such a flow. Yeah, I know the hobby. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so annoying.
That's 11. You've got 2 species of harrier that you've missed.
I said marsh harrier and hen harrier.
Yeah.
Oh, what are they?
Mongoose and pallid.
Oh, I would never have got them. Never have got them.
Have missed out on a species of hawk.
What did I say? Sparrowhawk.
No, you didn't say sparrowhawk.
Did I not say sparrowhawk?
Nope.
I thought I said sparrowhawk.
You've missed out on 2 very large birds of prey.
Very large. How large are we talking? Oh my god! They've just hit me now. White-tailed sea eagle and the golden eagle.
Yep, and you've missed out on 2 species of buzzard as well.
There's more than one. What?
There's more than 1 species of buzzard in the UK. 2 very rare species, but they do.
Oh well, if they're rare, then there's no way in hell I'm gonna get them.
You should know these. Come on, you should know these.
Come on, hit me with them.
Rough-legged buzzard.
Make me look like a muppet. Yeah, rough-legged buzzard
and honey buzzard.
Do they breed in the UK? Some of them breed in the UK, the honey buzzards.
Yeah, I think it's not a lot. I think it's only about 10 pairs per year or something like that.
I never knew that.
A very large species of hawk. Chris will be killing you right now.
Oh, I know. Do you know what? That was one of the ones on the tip, the goshawk.
Yes.
Which I'm still yet to see.
I'll give you 22 points out.
Yeah, I'll take that.
27, I think.
That's not too bad at all. That's not too bad.
Go on, quickly Google something for me then. Go on.
I can't even.
Find a species. Come on, you won't quiz me once.
Do you know what? I am gonna work. In fact, you never know. I might be working on the hardest quiz ever just to make you look like a muppet now.
Tell you what, on Friday, if you haven't got a quiz for me, you have to put £20 in the GoFundMe.
Okay.
I've got a quiz for me because I've done so many for you. I'll put a tenner in.
Okay, sweet. All right, we're on.
Where everyone's heard that.
I'm cracking on.
That's our next episode, which is getting filmed on Friday, the 7th, 8th, no, 10th of March.
10th of March.
It'll be getting released around the 22nd.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 21st, 22nd. Yeah, there you go. That's everything from me. Everything from you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a social media episode, but I think I'll name it just social media and crap.
Just we'll just call it social media. So, yeah. Anything else? Nothing else from you, mate. Definitely nothing else.
I don't know.
Let's just end it. Let's end it because we're going to end up with 20 minutes extra of just crap that nobody wants to listen to. So, yeah, this has been the Wild Talk podcast with me and Corey.
That was it. You ended it differently. Thank you, Dan.
I know. I wanted to end it a little bit differently because they're really poor. Some of them. Well, I start poor then finish strong. But
is that what you know? But the 30 seconds in between doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count at all. So yeah, this has been the WildTalk podcast, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
We will. With Richard Birchett.
Yes, with Richard Birchett, which I'm very much looking forward to. So yeah, until then, guys, thanks for all the support. Keep sharing your photos, keep smashing the donations. We'll put the link in, and yeah, goodbye from me.
Ta-ra.
Ciao.